everybody, and welcome back to the fantasy football video for this week, I guess. Apologies for it being up very late. I have been on holiday, and a few things didn't quite go to plan, so I was delayed coming back home. So this is getting recorded a bit later than I had scheduled, and a lot of my other videos might be a little bit later than intended, but you know, good thing comes to those who wait. And I guess at least the advantage here is I get to do the transfers on camera, because it's pretty much like the games are going to be tomorrow-ish anyway. So how do we do? So we did 58 points for the week, and average was 46, and the highest was 115. We lost 4 points for doing a transfer. Couldn't really be helped, but there we go. So how did we do? Well, okay, I guess would be the way. Now, I made a couple of dumb decisions and a couple of good decisions. So, dumb decision number one, I switched Speroni in instead of De Gea. I'm an idiot, okay? I genuinely expected Spurs to beat Man United, or at least to score, and I thought Crystal Palace would be able to beat West Ham. We'll come to those games in a bit. So that was my mistake. I could have got 8 more points and had a very respectable, points total for the week. It's a good points total for the week, but it could have been a lot better. I had to put in, I had to drop Kane because he was injured. It looks like he's going to be fine for the next game, but he was out of the Man United game. It was kind of a late thing, which was a pain. So I had to switch in one of my subs off the bench. I didn't want to just switch him out for another player or anything, so I had to put Fosu Mensah in. He did get a point, to be fair, so it's not the end of the world, but there we go. I switched out Man United defender for Otamendi, who ended up getting 0 points. I don't know how the hell Man City conceded 2 to West Brom, but there you go. And weirdly, Kolasinac was was star of the week, basically. Managed to get a goal and an assist against Swansea. Turns out this guy's actually alright, isn't he? Higazi got me no points once more. Did play the full 90, but obviously Man City scored 3 against him. Decor just got 1, which is pretty disappointing there. Watford, very surprised at that result. Hazard, I made captain. I figured Chelsea going to be playing Bournemouth, they should do well. I mean, to be fair, Hazard scored, so that's good, and got a clean sheet, so he did get 11 points, just turned into 22 for me, so that worked out really well. But we'll go into that game again, and as we'll see, I guess things are not going too well for Chelsea right now. Ali, again, I was kind of shocked by that Man United result, but there we go. And Gross from Brighton did very well. Got an assist in the 1-1 draw with Southampton. Played very well, actually. I did watch a bit of that match, and he looks like a quality player. I dropped him in midfield because he's just been getting a lot of points, getting a lot of assists, and you can see he's been very good this season. 55 points in total, some really good results. Only 2 goals, but the assists are the impressive thing, I think. Lukaku up front got an assist, and I think Tammy Abraham got an assist as well. So, I mean, not a terrible week. Obviously, I'm an idiot. I should have put De Gea in goal. It was a last minute thing. I was just thinking about it. I think I was on the bus on the way to work, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. This makes sense. What a fucking idiot. Anyway, so Man United did in fact lose to Spurs, a fairly late Martial goal. That guy has been fantastic this season. I'm assuming that was off the bench. Yeah, it was. So he came on and played the last 20 minutes. A lot of his goals come from the bench this season, and that's been an asset, but how long is he going to hang around if he's just coming off the bench? Clean sheet for Man United, and I think actually, they did actually play Eric Bailly, the guy who I dropped because Man United weren't playing him the last 3. I can't work it out. Okay, I haven't got the time to dive in that deep and check everything, but I can't work that out. Or also very disappointing Kane, not being there, and really a fantastic result for Man United. Spurs have been in really good form recently, but that was pretty much a Mourinho special, I think. Man United defended well. De Gea obviously doing really well, and Man United just getting that goal, and that's, Mourinho does things like that very well. That leaves them now. Leaves Man United second, 5 points behind Man City, and Spurs 8 points behind Man City. So it's opened up a bit of a gap, and it was a really important win for Man United there. I think if they want to have hopes of catching up with City, they've got to get results against other teams in the top 6, because they're the ones where Man City could slip up. So we'll see what happens. I guess a really good win for Arsenal as well. They're kind of like chugging along a bit. Where are they in the table actually now? Because I think they've shot up a bit. Yeah, they're 5th. Only 1 point behind Spurs. Everyone's been talking about Spurs, haven't they? But they're only 1 point ahead of Arsenal. So it's interesting. I think maybe everyone's been talking about Spurs because they've done really well in the Champions League as well. But I think they've underperformed somewhat in the actual league so far this season. But I mean, 6 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. It's not terrible, I guess. It's just more that Man City have been rampant. But important goal. Important result for Arsenal. And Swansea, I don't know what's going to happen with Swansea this season. It's a real tough one. I feel like there's a lot of quality in that side, but I feel like Paul Clement, I just don't know about him. What is Paul Clement doing? Does that make sense? Like, what is he? Everywhere he seems to go, he never seems to do that well, but he's got this really big reputation. He's obviously been Ancelotti's assistant. Is he one of those guys where the step up to manager is too much? Because everyone goes on about how well disciplined they are and this type of thing, but I mean, shouldn't you be hoping for a little bit more? I guess. I mean, they're equal with Everton on in the relegation zone. A point ahead of Bournemouth, a point behind West Ham. It's just I don't know about Swansea. I feel like they're better than where they are, but at the end of the day, I'm not saying that Clement should go. I'm just saying, like, I don't know about Paul Clement. I don't know whether I rate him or not as a manager. A lot of people within sort of the football circles rate him very highly, but I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like his results don't seem to back up what a lot of people are saying so far anyway. But hey, there's still time left in the season, but a really important win for Arsenal there, and obviously very surprising that Kolasinac managed to get that goal and assist there. But fair play. I know Arsenal were really reluctant to play him at the beginning of the season. I figure they were just trying to bed him in a little bit, but it seems like he could become an important player for them this season if Arsenal are going to crack that top 4, which a lot of people are like, oh, they've got no chance this season. Oh, well, they're equal on points with 4th place, so they have every chance this season. Crystal Palace, West Ham. Well, I'm a Crystal Palace fan, as you guys know, and I was away on holiday, as I said, so I tuned into this one quite late. We were already 2-0 down, and I was like, oh shit. I was furious. I was just like, God, just when I thought we were turning a corner, everything like went, everything just going downhill, and it was just like, oh, because I think midweek in the Cup as well, this is important to note as well, in the Carabao Cup, Crystal Palace lost like 4-1 to Bristol City. Now admittedly we played a weakened side, but West Ham came back from 2-0 down against Spurs and won 3-2, so the momentum was suddenly back on West Ham there, really, and being 2-0 down to them, I was like, oh dear, this is going down. And then, well, if you get a chance, YouTube or Google like the Palace fans' reaction at the end of this match, because people always say like, "Oh, Palace are the best fans in the league," blah blah blah, considering we only have a 26,000 seater stadium. And honestly, it was magnificent. The reaction from the crowd when Zaha scored that late goal, and Zaha's such an important player. I said when we were losing all those games, having Zaha out makes a difference. And when you shouldn't have to rely on one player in your team, but if you are already a crap team, which Crystal Palace are, if you do have that one player who will stand out and make a difference and be your creative force, be that guy who will pop up with a goal or an assist or just a bit of skill which could turn a game. Like, when you don't have him for 6 games or whatever it was, I think it was 5 or 6 games, it seriously hurts. And that's what happened basically with Zaha. It hurt badly that we didn't have him, and now he's back. He's got, I think, 2 in 2, hasn't he? No, 2 in 3, sorry, because we did lose to Newcastle. Yes, he's come back as he missed 6 games for us. So he's a vital player, but he's a fantastic player as well, by the way. And I cannot say enough that England will rue the fact that we did not secure him down with a cap. I feel like that was probably, ironically, Roy Hodgson, I think, who did it, and one of his biggest mistakes. Seeing that Roy is now obviously Crystal Palace manager, because he'll rue the fact when Zaha goes. Because Zaha, for those of you who don't know, he could have played for England. He played for their under-21s, I think, and he actually had a cap for England in a friendly, but that doesn't count. So it doesn't count according to FIFA. So that means that you can still go to another nationality. It's not until you play a competitive match that you are tied to that country. So he went out, and obviously now he plays for the Ivory Coast. And if we lose him for the African Cup of Nations, we will rue the fact that he is playing for them instead of playing for England. Because for those who don't know, the African Cup of Nations runs, I think it's February for a month or so, depending on how well the team does. So you can lose your really, really good African players, for a month or so in February, which hurts a lot of clubs in the Premier League. But yeah, anyway, great comeback from Palace. I'm not convinced yet that we're going to stay up. I mean, when you look at it on the face of things, we are only 4 points from safety. That's not a lot, although at this stage of the season, after 10 games, it kind of is. There are some teams having shocking seasons down here. There are some teams who will probably naturally, like Huddersfield, float down a little bit. Brighton as the season wears on. But I'm not convinced we're going to be able to get ourselves out yet. The team hasn't done enough yet. I mean, one good result against Chelsea is not good enough right now. We got Spurs next. I mean, good luck. Anyway, Liverpool absolutely battered Huddersfield. Pretty surprising, that one, to be honest with you. I could have seen Huddersfield getting some sort of upset there, but maybe Liverpool are back on track a little bit now. In the table they are, I should be looking at this a little bit more, but in the table they are, where Liverpool was 6th. So we have a very normal top 6 now, and these teams could interchange all over the season. But when people talk about the Premier League and the top 6, this is the teams they are talking about, and they are all up there now. So that is pretty interesting. Liverpool, though, had a very slow start. There's been a lot of talk about Jurgen Klopp's how well is he doing at Liverpool, and it's a tough one to judge, because when you think about it, Brendan Rodgers did it very nearly win the league with Liverpool. It was just really a Steven Gerrard slip that did it. But I mean, that's unfair. It was a lot of other things, but you know what I'm saying. So is Jurgen Klopp the right man? Personally, I love Jurgen Klopp. I find him entertaining. You can see he's passionate. I like the way he plays football. But at the end of the day, are Liverpool going to be able to compete, or is that even his aim? Is his aim just top 4 and try and consolidate that? it's a tough question, isn't it? Because when you have teams, and I mean Liverpool aren't a poor club, but when you have teams like City and Chelsea and Man United who can just buy the best players in the world, are you really going to be able to stand a chance? You know, is top 4 not a reasonable goal to aim for? Good question. Watford, my surprise of the week probably. Watford losing to Stoke. Watford were on a really good run. Probably playing a little bit above what they're actually capable of. But I mean, fair play. You know, you can only, you know, they've done well, and Stoke can only, you know, beat what they can beat, and that's a fantastic result for them. Amazing that Darren Fletcher's still playing. Shaqiri, a player who I really love, but he just doesn't do enough consistency-wise to kind of warrant the reputation he kind of has. For me, I'd like to see him like go on and do well. And I mean, I don't have anything against Stoke, but I got a feeling like this season they might struggle. It's a great result from, but I don't know. It's a tough one. Man City, West Brom. Obviously, the shock for me is that Man City conceded 2 goals to West Brom. It's kind of shocking, but fair play to West Brom. Gave him a right old game. You know, everybody knows my thoughts on Tony Pulis. If you don't know, being a Palace fan, he's not my favourite person, but even I can acknowledge that he generally is a really good manager. So, you know, I think West Brom will be fine this season, but you know, they're down there, aren't they? You know, they're 15th at the minute. They're 2 points off, and they're not on a good run. You know, haven't won in 5. Whereas all the teams below them have at least won a game in the last 5. Although Everton, if you include Europe, haven't. We'll come to Everton though. Bournemouth, Chelsea. As I said, I expected Chelsea to dominate this. Morata seems like he's back now, so I might drop him back into my team. We'll see. But Chelsea are a weird one. I mean, I feel like at the minute everybody's saying they're a crisis club. I mean, let's not forget they're still, like the reigning champions, they're still 4th on 19 points. You know, they're only 4 points off second. Alright, they're a lot off Man City, 9 points, but you know, they can still easily get top 4 this season. So I don't know, I don't think they're in a crisis yet. I think they just lost in Europe to Roma. Roma are a good side. It's not a disgrace to lose to Roma. Admittedly, I don't think they played very well at all. I didn't see the game, but from what I heard, Chelsea were really poor, especially defensively, and that seems to be where the problems are coming for them at the minute. Morata being back is a big bonus. Next week they will have Man United, so that's a big old game. We'll see, won't we, if Conte can get them back on track. Incredibly, there seems to be rumours that Conte is gonna, you know, get fired or something like that. And it just seems fucking ridiculous. That is even a thing. Like, I find that unbelievable. I know Chelsea are pretty ruthless in that respect, but I mean, Jesus Christ, this seems ridiculous. The guy won the league last season with a team who no one would have thought would have won the league, in all honesty. You know, he's got to be given a bit of time, and he wasn't exactly, I would say anyway, massively backed in the transfer market. Obviously they did buy quite a few good players, but when you look at the likes of Man City and what they were spending, and Man United, then Chelsea weren't really near that level. So you know, they have a very small squad, I feel, and you know, they're struggling, I think, to get players in that they need who are good enough to improve that squad. But anyway, Bournemouth, I just got a feeling Bournemouth are going down. You know, not many people seem to be talking about them that much, but I genuinely got a feeling that they're still going to be in that relegation zone at the end of the season, and probably for the rest of the season. You know, I've got nothing against Bournemouth as a whole. I just don't think, I think this is the year that they're, you know, there are teams who are doing what they were doing better than them now, and I think they've been found out a little bit, so unless they kind of change up their style, then, you know, we'll see. And to be fair to Bournemouth as well, I don't feel like they've really really gone for it in the Premier Premier League, if that makes sense. I feel like they've really spent money, and sure, financially they might not be able to, so maybe they've been very prudent and overachieved what they've got, but I never felt like they have tried to go out there and make a statement. You look at Crystal Palace, admittedly we are shit, but last couple of seasons we've gone out and made a statement with the players we've brought, at least 30 million on Benteke, 26 million on Sacco. We turned around and said, okay, we want to try and stay in this league, and it might not work out for us, we might well go down, but I feel like from a fan's point of view, at least they can turn around and say, we gave it a good go. Sure, we should have signed some more players, but even like I feel Brighton spent some good money this season. Huddersfield didn't, I don't think, but to be fair, they have their own kind of style, and that could be said for Bournemouth as well. But I feel like their time is running out. I got a feeling this could be the season they go down, because let's face it, 3 teams have got to go down. Brighton drew 1-1 with Southampton. I watched a bit of this game. I thought Brighton were really good, actually. To begin with, Southampton dominated. I think Southampton scored first, and it was a pretty good goal, actually. Fantastic free kick from James Ward-Prowse, really good. It hit the post, I think, and then Davis was there to kind of follow up. But I thought Brighton came back into the game in the second half really well, and they looked really good. It's the first time I've actually seen Brighton play this season, and I thought they were really, really solid. So I could see them staying up, but I don't know. I also watched a bit of this Leicester Everton, and my God, Everton are bad. Jesus Christ. I've never seen a team which has spent so much money, been so bad in a season. Leicester were just ripping them apart. It's not David Unsworth's fault. I guess it is Ronald Koeman's fault, because he is the manager. But their defence is so slow, and Leicester with Vardy and Mahrez, and what's his name? Gray. Yeah, Gray as well. Just ripped them apart. They just absolutely tore them apart, and it could have been a lot more than 2-0. So I feel sorry for Everton fans anyway. They must have had so much hope this season. Return of Rooney, spending a lot of money. Okay, you lost Lukaku, but I felt like for the most part they spent their money on good players. Lacking maybe some pace, that is definitely an issue for them in defence and attack. But worst I could have seen for them was mid-table. Now, they're obviously going to get a new manager in. I don't think it's going to be Unsworth. I think they lost, from the time I record this, I think they lost 3-0 in Europe to Lyon, and I don't think Unsworth's going to get the job. So they're going to be looking to get someone in, but will they be able to turn it around? Because at the minute they look gone. I don't think they'll go down, and they're a massive club. They'd probably be one of the biggest clubs to go down in the history of the Premier League if they did. But they need to turn it around quickly. Leicester, I mean, if you're going to have a slow defence against Leicester, you're going to get ripped apart. Most people know what their game is now and can do something about it, but Everton didn't get that memo, I guess. And I watched a little bit of Burnley Newcastle. It was the most boring match I've ever seen in my life. Burnley won 1-0, that's all I'm going to say. So next week we've got Stoke, Leicester, Huddersfield, West Brom, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Southampton, Burnley, Swansea, Brighton, West Ham, Liverpool. Not a particularly exciting Saturday, but the Sunday, holy moly, that is a super Sunday. You've got Spurs, Palace. Got to say a Palace win there. By the way, I'm just going to switch in. Who do I switch? Got to be a defender, right? What's the Kolasniak's chance? 75%. And Arsenal have got Man City. Yep, we'll switch him out. We'll obviously switch De Gea back in. I don't actually think I'm going to make any changes to the team this week. I think I'm quite happy with the squad as it is. I guess Fosu Mensah's the one I would think about changing. I don't think Tottenham is going to work out well. I don't think Jack Colback's played an entire game this season, so he's not going to go in. I'll have a look. Maybe I can Fosu-Mensah is somebody. I wouldn't mind swapping Hegazi actually. Yeah, Huddersfield away. West Brom might get a clean sheet there. Anyway, yeah, so the Sunday, Man City, Arsenal, massive game. Chelsea, Man United, massive game. Everton, Watford, that's quite an important game as well. I think these two are obviously the ones on TV. I'm not sure about Spurs or Everton. But yeah, they are some big games, and they are going to be. Well, I guarantee this one's going to be a crap game. Because every big game Mourinho plays in, he just wrecks. This one could be very interesting. Man City, Arsenal, how are those two teams going to do? Could be very, very interesting. I would bet on Man City. I think most people would, but Arsenal on their day can be really, really deadly. So we'll see. From a Crystal Palace point of view, if we can get a draw against Spurs away, I'll be damn happy with that because they just beat Real Madrid 3-1. So, yeah, that's the thing. Oh god, maybe my internet's gone down as it is. But anyway, I think I'm going to finish up here anyway. I might switch Fosu-Mensah out, but I don't think I will. Let me just go back. Okay, well, we're going to finish because my internet's not just disconnected anyway. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you next week.